Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Avalanche and its native token AVAX. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So Avalanche is a cryptocurrency that we've been following since about $10 or $20 on the channel. Okay, we first introduced it, of course, to the premium list at around $10 or $12. Now we're looking at about a 10x from that level, and we're currently trading at a very modest $117. Now, I should remind you that if you are not earning rewards on your AVAX, you should do so, and we do actually have an Into the Cryptoverse stake pool. So if you go on over to staking.intothecryptoverse.com/avalanche, we'll link that down in the description below and in the pinned comment. It'll tell you how you can go earn rewards, okay? And it is important. I mean, again, if you have a problem staking with me, that's fine. Just go stake it somewhere else. I don't care. The point is that you really should be earning rewards or interest, whatever you want to think about it. Really, it's, rewards. You should be earning rewards if you can, because it's a great way to get your crypto to work for you. I mean, imagine, just theoretically speaking, right, if prices go up, and I said this last year too, I mean, if prices go up 10x, and you're earning, 10% APY or 12% APY or something, then your initial cost basis, the interest that you make over a year could cover what your initial cost basis was if the price goes up 10x. We saw that happen over the last year. A lot of cryptocurrencies went up 10x or more. So do consider that. Again, make sure you check that out. Now, Avalanche against the US dollar is still looking relatively strong. And it's interesting given that Bitcoin has more or less been in a downtrend for a while, as we were looking at here, right? It's been in a downtrend. Perhaps we're breaking it, right? It's maybe too early to call whether we're breaking it or we're just putting in another local high, more or less at the same area that we were at before. But despite the downtrend that Bitcoin has experienced over the last month or two, Avalanche is still more or less in an uptrend. Now, in order to get to new all-time highs, we would need to go to about $150. But look, $117 AVAX with Bitcoin trading at less than 49K is a pretty big win in my book, okay? And if you go look at the AVAX Bitcoin valuation, you can see that it more or less remains in an uptrend, okay? We were at the top here, we came back down to the bottom, and then back up to the top, and then back down to the bottom. And then, perhaps we'll go back up to the top. Now, for us to get back up to the top, let's assume that we are able to make it there. It would correspond to a valuation of about 0.004, okay? So maybe about twice as much as we currently are, maybe not quite. It depends on when we get there, right? I mean, you can imagine that if it takes it a little while to get there, like late January, early February, it could be 0.0048, which would be 2x the current valuation. Now, for a constant Bitcoin, obviously a 2x on AVAX would put it up in the $234 range. I know that is hard to imagine, but again, that is where it would put it for a constant Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin is more than likely not going to stay constant. Okay, so you have to consider that. So the AVAX Bitcoin valuation does remain in an uptrend. Remember, you have to be critical of your altcoins. If they cannot outperform Bitcoin at the very least, then what's the point? Okay, and realistically, I mean, you could say, well, you want it to at least be an oscillator against Bitcoin. Really, it should at least be an oscillator against Ethereum. It needs to go up against Bitcoin, ideally speaking, because if it can't go up against Bitcoin, what's the point, right? If it just goes sideways, you're basically just better off holding Bitcoin. And if it goes down against Bitcoin, then, I mean, we're not even going to talk about it, really. So AVAX goes up against Bitcoin, right? The data is there. The proof is here. You just look at the data. The data says the trend is up. I like what the trend says. I like AVAX. Okay. Now, the real test is not against Bitcoin. As we know, Ethereum, I think, should be the index for your altcoins because Ethereum has stood the test of time. It's been around since 2015. It's got its fingers in basically every branch of cryptocurrency. So you cannot forsake the blue chip Ethereum. Does it at least go up, or does it at least oscillate against ETH? And the answer is it does. It does at least oscillate against ETH. Some coins oscillate against ETH. Some coins go up. Some coins go down. What we know so far is that AVAX has been an oscillator against Ethereum. And now we're back up here to the top here of this band against Ethereum. So it's interesting to see what happens here because there's no hard and fast rule to say that it has to oscillate forever. I mean, it could. We've also seen many cryptocurrencies break out. There's plenty of cryptocurrencies that have gone up against Ethereum. Okay, and so it's not out of the question that AVAX could do something like this. We've seen this happen with a few other different cryptocurrencies before. I mean, Solana is a good example of one that has done well against Ethereum. Matic has been doing really well against Ethereum. Luna has been doing really well against Ethereum. I believe if we just go quickly look at them, just to show you, these uptrends against Ethereum, right? Here's an uptrend against Ethereum, and then it went sideways. This is Matic. If you look at Sol ETH, Solana Ethereum, uptrend and then sideways. Okay, and then let's go look at Luna. Luna's been doing really well recently. So let's go look at Luna ETH. Yeah, it's in an uptrend. So there's no hard and fast rule to say that AVAX has to be an oscillator. One of the reasons why oscillators are nice against Ethereum is because we do know that there are stages of the cycle where Ethereum can get relatively boring. But I mean, I don't know about you guys, but 2021 has been mostly up for Ethereum. Mostly up and sideways. Not a whole lot of downward movement. A little bit, but not a lot. So one of the nice things about having an oscillator against ETH is we know there are phases where Ethereum kind of calms down for a little bit and altcoins run. So you want to see your portfolio to continue to go up at all times during the market cycle, ideally. And therefore, having an oscillator is nice. Of course, going up is even better. Okay, so AVAX, I would argue it's one of the better performing altcoins during this Bitcoin downtrend. You go look at the top cryptocurrencies, you can see that AVAX is coming in at number 10. Really, it's number 8 if you don't include Tether and USDC, the stable coins. So Avalanche is coming in at number 8. It's up a very modest 46% on the week. Okay, so let's see what it does. For it to put in a new all-time high, we need to get up to about $150. A new all-time high against Ethereum. We still have a little bit of ways to go, but not a whole lot. So let's see what happens. Remember, go stake your AVAX with ITC. There will be a link on how to do that in the description below. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe. Check out the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com, and I will see you next time. Bye.